26, I'm Paula, Jasper. Today we're in Manistee. We're with the Department of Public Works, and joining me is the director, Jeff McCula. Thanks for joining me, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Now, I understand the city of Manistee just received a grant. What is that grant for, and how much?
Yes, we're very excited. We just received a SAW grant, which represents the stormwater, asset management, and wastewater. So the total project will be a little over $1.9 million. The grant amount from the state of Michigan is over $1.7 million, and then we've got less than a $200,000 match.
Now, what is this grant entail? What can you do with it?
The overall outcome of the project will be to create asset management programs for both our sanitary sewer system and our stormwater system. In order to do that, we're going to take physical inventories of everything in the system, all the lengths of pipe, the manholes, pumps, wastewater treatment, so every physical component, and we're going to catalog their age, their condition, and then we'll be able to put in a asset management program which will predict when they need to be replaced, capital improvement projects. That way we can budget efficiently and spend that money over time so that we don't have replacement costs that all pile up at once.
So how many miles of pipe are there?
There is over 50 miles of sanitary sewer in the city and probably close to 60 miles of storm sewer.
Wow. Okay, now has this process already began?
We've been doing some work. We knew from the state of Michigan's priority list that we would be receiving funding this round. So we've made some strategic decisions in this last budget round, and the grant allows us to be reimbursed for eligible costs. So there are some things that we have already done that we know that we can get reimbursement for. And so we've been kind of preparing for this in the past 6 months.
Okay, what is the reasoning behind this grant?
The federal government is the federal government is mandating that the states and local municipalities begin to create asset management programs for sewer systems. And so the state of Michigan has put aside money, and this is the third year of funding. They've been funding, I believe, $94 to $96 million each year to help communities do this. We operate our sewer system through a NPDES permit, the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System. And so that permit has expired, and we are in the process of renewing that. And one of the conditions is the state will require us to maintain an asset management program. So Manistee was fortunate enough to be able to receive grant money, and with that grant money then we'll be able to do the full program. There's some side benefits. We're also going to be cleaning the sewers. We're going to televise them. We'll be doing three-dimensional scanning of all of our manholes, as long as the physical components of our treatment plan and things like that. And then all of that data will be compiled in our GIS system and allow us to do modeling, allow us to make corrections to the system. Most of the assets are buried, so as we do projects and discover that pipe sizes are different or routing is different, we can make those changes within the database on an ongoing basis.
Tell us about the mobile mapping that you did.
Well, in anticipation of receiving this grant, as opposed to doing conventional surveying on projects this summer, we actually contracted with Spicer Group, and they did mobile mapping using LiDAR technology. So it uses literally millions of laser beams that go out, are returned, and we now have 3D images of all of our street corridors as well as where utilities are located. And we also have high definition images of those too. So that actually is eligible in the SAW grant. And so we got all the data we needed for this year's capital improvement projects, but we also set up for the SAW grant, and so the money we spend on that will be reimbursable through the grant.
What is the time frame for having this initial portion done?
Well, we just signed the official grant agreement this week and sent it back to the State Department of Treasury, so that gives us about a 3-year window to complete all the asset management programs.
Quite a project. Thanks for joining me, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Paula, Jasper, Minus 26 in Manistee.